we're just starting. What the fuck is up, pals? How's it going? I am back. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that you're here. Love you. Let's get into it. I feel like lately it's just been a week-to-week catch-up on what the fuck I'm doing with my life currently. And this week is absolutely no different. I made a decision today, and I think that it is like the right decision for the platform and for me like actually being able to put out content and for just like the overall brand consistency and like me fucking doing things. I said that there was going to be a slight shift, and there is. There will be a new name for the podcast, and I will be moving all of the socials over to just my own socials and like deleting the Raising My Voice pages. And not because I don't feel connected to the Raising My Voice pages. I don't have the mental energy to chase my dreams and to also like manage a bunch of fucking social media accounts. I hate social media. It's not my favorite thing to deal with. And the less that I can interact with it, the fucking better on my end. Yeah, so there's things coming. I have been in like an audiobook mood. So I've been listening to, it is called Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. And it's really good. I have like an Audible subscription, and I would highly recommend Audible and this book. She's currently talking about like time tracking, which it all sounds really overwhelming for me to like keep track of my day-to-day activities down to like the minute, because I have fucking ADHD and I'm all over the place all of the time, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to like in between my tasks write down what I'm doing or like remember all of the small tasks that I do, because I bounce around quite often. So I'm doing my best to like take what I can information wise that like will benefit my life, and just like, yeah, take what I can and leave the rest. So I had deleted all of the social media apps off of my phone, and then I took a bunch of cute pictures and I wanted attention, so I downloaded them again so I could post cute pictures, and that's just like how it fucking goes, you know? But you know, I actually didn't have that hard of a time not checking my social media throughout the day, which was cool. I had them off of my phone for like a whole day. I think that I'm gonna delete them again and probably leave them off for a little bit. She suggests 4 weeks, and I might try 4 weeks. We'll see how that goes. So if I just like disappear social media wise, that's why, because I'm just trying to hang out and like use my time as productively as possible so that I'm not wasting a bunch of energy and not burnt out all of the time. So that this doesn't feel like this overwhelming workload in my life. Because I want particularly this to be fun. Like this is supposed to just be my like side passion project while I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. And I want this particularly to be just like a cool go with the flow experience for me. So there's going to be a little bit of shifting. I still don't know that like the content itself is going to shift too much, other than like I think I already said. I think that it's going to be a lot more current. When I started the platform, and I think why I started the platform was to like build credibility for myself. And to me, that kind of felt like I needed to prove who I was and what I've gone through in order to like justify people listening to me and like giving a fuck. And that's not the case. And like I am worthy regardless. And I think that a shift is necessary. I think that for a really long time I was holding on to a lot of stuff in the past. And I think that that's because I didn't have the tools to let it go. A lot of the stuff in my past is really fucking heavy, and not necessarily easy to just like put down without it weighing on my mind heavily. So I don't think that I had the tools to put things down and like progress from where I'm at prior to honestly starting this podcast in like the beginning of this year. So like it's been really neat to kind of be able to finally distance myself from like the circumstances of my life and start to really value and love myself as a person and not be upset with the things that have happened to me. And that's a hard lesson to learn because I feel like, and this is something that Maureen said to me in therapy, was I told her that I have been feeling like fairly alone and really frustrated because I feel like I have to work so hard for everything. And during this conversation, she told me that I wouldn't be who I am or be doing the things that I'm doing without those experiences. And I understand that. And that's, I have a love-hate relationship with that logic because I do understand it. And like, I have so many fucking ideas and so many dreams that are just fueled by the circumstances of my past. And I wouldn't be able to do the cool ass things I'm going to do career-wise without going through all of those things. But it also would be so nice to not have to struggle and to not have had such fucking shitty abusive relationships throughout my life and have had to go through so much to do cool things for the world. Like, it seems so unfair that because I honestly am a good person and I'm going to do good person things, that I have been treated like shit for so long. Like, I told her that it seems really, really fucking unfair that I have such a good heart and that I give so much. And that I don't know that I've ever met somebody that fully fucking reciprocates my love to me. That can, you know? Like, I think that I've said that before on this platform. I love so fucking much and so unconditionally. And I had a thought about that today because I have been kind of struggling with the love that I give. And I've mentioned that my dad got really into spirituality when I was really young. So the term unconditional love was something that I have been familiar with from like a really young age. And I have always put, I don't know, maybe I've put my own meaning on it. I'm unsure, honestly, because this is just something that I've like fully thought of. So I'm not sure what the full context of it is. Again, if you didn't listen last time, I think that I'm autistic and like I have realized I have zero fucking clue on context. None. It doesn't exist. If people don't give me an idea, I will entirely miss it. Which is a lot of fun. But my interpretation of unconditional love was loving somebody as they are and not requiring anything of them additionally to love them, to like love their flaws and love them in the process and like love the person that they are at that current moment. That was my interpretation for a really fucking long time. And then today I kind of started to think about the fact that maybe unconditional love is love that you give without the expectation of literally fucking anything in return. Maybe unconditional love is just love that you give, and that's the end of it. And I don't really know that that's how I have been loving people for a lot of my life. I feel like I have been loving people as they are and for their flaws, expecting that at some point that meant that they were going to love me for my flaws. And where I have fucked up is like thinking this is where I always fuck up, but particularly in this regard, is thinking that other people have my, like, heart and my empathy and my compassion, because they fucking don't. Especially the people that I have dated for the most part, who, whether they have meant to or not, have been incredibly abusive and toxic. So I'm kind of just coming to terms with that realization and realizing that instead of loving people as they are and for their flaws, and not that I, like, am even fucking capable of not doing that, but I think that I need to focus on giving my love without the expectation of anything in return. Because that's kind of where I get fucked up a lot, is I pour a lot of love into people, and then they just, like, they fucking, honestly, I don't think are even close to capable of reciprocating. And then I get my fucking feelings hurt. And that's not fair to anybody. That's putting really unfair expectations on people. And I think that I know the limits of the people around me enough to, like, know who is and is not capable of reciprocating a large amount of love being poured into them. I said that I don't feel like I've met anybody that matches my emotions. And, like, I don't fully, but I do feel like there are people who get close. Mick particularly. I think that she's maybe the closest around. Brie is, I would say, like, quite detached. I wouldn't say she is quite detached. We handle our things very, very differently, and mine is to feel all of my things, and hers is to feel none of the things. And they're working on it, and they're getting a lot better, but bro, I just have so many fucking feelings, and it's unreasonable. So I'm, I guess, working on, like, just giving without the expectation of reciprocation. And then also maybe being a little bit more conscious of who does reciprocate my energy. Because I feel like there are some relationships in my life that I know that people don't reciprocate my energy, and I pour energy into them anyways. And it's not in my nature to not fucking pour energy into my people. That's just who I am. So it's really hard for me to, like, pull back on that, and I don't fucking like doing it. I really don't like having to change, like, a pretty huge fucking part of my character to accommodate other people and their limits. I want to take everybody with me on my journey, and some people just, like, aren't fucking meant to come, and that sucks, and that's not the choice that I would make if I had the option, but, like, it's not fucking up to me. It really isn't. There are people around me that have rose to the occasion and have stayed with me on this journey, and that's because they have made the decision, you know? And not even for me, like, don't make the decision for me. Make the decision for you, but, like, make the decision for you. I'm really tired, and I think that that's kind of just where I keep ending up, is, like, I'm really tired. So we're not doing it. This is... the point of that is we're not fucking around with relationships that don't reciprocate my energy, or that leave me feeling more burnt out than necessary. I'm not doing it anymore. I have way more important things to do on this earth than to waste my fucking energy on people that just, like, quite frankly don't care enough to show up properly in my life. I had, like, a very full of love day on Friday. I feel like I woke up and I just had, like, a very full heart. So I sent a message to quite a few of my humans being like, hey, that I hadn't talked to in a while, to clarify, because I have been, like, really distant from everybody, and I'm trying not to be, but, like, again, I don't have the energy. So I sent a, like, early 20s Maddie message to a couple of my people. And the responses that I got just warmed my little frickin' heart. And I actually, like, found out really exciting news from a pal that I wouldn't know, that I'm the first person to, like, know as a pal. without sending this message. So, like, it was really nice to reconnect with some of my, like, lifetime humans and just check in and throw some love at each other. I think that me and Mick are going to spend some time doing some witch shit, and I'm excited. Everything in the universe has been, like, telling me that I am taking part of a huge, like, transformation, which has been really overwhelming, if I can be real with y'all, but I don't have a choice, I don't think, so we're just vibing. I think that that's probably fairly apparent by the amount of times that I have, like, changed paths, even just on this platform. I'm kind of just constantly shifting right now, and I don't think that that is slowing down anytime soon, which is fine. I am getting more assurance than ever that I am, like, on my life path and doing the things that I'm meant to do here. So that's fine. If this is all taking me to my, like, highest self, cool. I'm in, but, like, things could chill the fuck out a little bit. I have been starting to do, like, career girly shit. And I'm having a good time. It's all really cool. It's really interesting to me when I, like, decide to consume media that I have had for quite some time, because the audiobook that I'm listening to right now is something that I had recommended to me a while ago, and I've had it in my Audible library for a while, and I've actually even been listening to it for quite some time. But whenever I decide to listen to it, the chapters are always just so perfectly timed in my life. And that's how everything is. If I decide to consume media, whatever form that is, it always just, like, aligns with my life, which is fun. It's really validating. The particular thing that she has been talking about that is really valuable in my life right now is the experience of fear, particularly being what we interpret it as. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I have some basic psychology knowledge. I kind of know how the brain works. It makes a lot of sense to me that, like, we give the sensations in our bodies meaning. And as somebody that fucking panics, I'm willing to try anything, man. So it was really interesting to me that she's talking about overcoming these feelings of fear and, like, pushing through things and doing things anyways. And, like, if anything, letting fear lead you towards the things that you're, like, meant to do, and using fear as a signal. And, like, there obviously is a line between, like, actual danger and then, like, anxiety when doing new things. I would highly recommend the book. These are just the spark note. But she's talking about pushing through fear and doing the things that excite your soul despite fear, which is really funny to me because there were 2 nights in particular this week, and they were the 2 nights that I had the opportunity to do the most in terms of creating the career structure for this business venture that I'm starting. And both nights, I had honestly what I was fully convinced was a heart attack. They were panic attacks. And, like, I can normally tell that my panic attacks are getting bad because my chest gets really tight. But I haven't had a panic attack that has gone any further than that point in, honestly, like, probably 5 or 6 years. It's been quite some time since I have had a panic attack that has progressed past that, physical sensation wise. So having a panic attack that it didn't even really start how mine normally do, and I don't really think that my thoughts were racing at all. Like, it was very out of character for my typical panic attacks. because I'm pretty good at catching my typical panic attacks. But this one, man, it hit me like a fucking truck both times. And I can probably attribute a lot of it to how exhausted I've been and like my issues with sleeping and the lack of sleep in general. But they were really intense. For a little bit of context, I guess, my chest gets really tight, and that is normally the first thing. But my chest didn't get tight first this time. I had like a weird abdominal pain, and then my chest hurt, but then the pain in my chest shot down like the middle of the front of my body, and then like out into my abdomen. And it was my whole front of my body. Felt like it was going to fucking explode. I've never had fucking pain like that before. And then I took an Ativan because I'm like, okay, sometimes if I'm having a panic attack, Ativan chills me out. Not all of the time, but sometimes. And that did not help. I like hardcore dissociated for the rest of the night. And I feel like the pain kind of came and went all night. And like my appendages all got kind of tingly. And I felt like not even a regular dissociation, but like a very, like it was really detached and like eerie and not a normal dissociation, which like, again, dissociating isn't fucking fun, but whatever the fuck, wasn't my vibe. And that happened 2 nights in a row. And again, those were the 2 nights that I was able to like put in the most work into stuff. So I was feeling kind of discouraged, and I was wondering if this is maybe not the path that I was supposed to be on because I have been so anxious. And then listening to this audiobook and like having conversations with Brie and everything, I actually think that I am so anxious specifically because this is the path that I'm supposed to be on, and like this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and I am just fucking creating that career for myself. And I'm doing just like these incredible things that I truly have never fucking dreamed of doing. And of course that's overwhelming for me. I have had some of these dreams for probably years, honestly. And I have referred to quite a few of them as my like a big end of life career goals. And I kind of think that they're actually what's going to start my career. A good majority of them, at least. And if I could tell literally any version of myself prior to like April 2023, that I would just be creating the career of my dreams out of thin fucking air, like I truly wouldn't believe me. This is so fucking flabbergasting. Even to like present me that's doing this shit. This is all wild. And of course I'm anxious, but that doesn't mean that it's not incredibly important work and that I'm not just like cosmically fucking supported in doing all of this, and that I should stop or slow down. Which again, like, it's cool to have validation. It's been kind of intimidating to have the whole universe and like all of my people and literally anything that could tell me, fuck yes, absolutely do that, I support you. Tell me, fuck yes, absolutely do that, I support you. It's all really fucked up. As somebody who's felt like they haven't had like support for real before, being just like endlessly supported on this path is wild. And I'm sure that it won't always be like that. Like, I understand life. I know that like at some point there will be hardships. And I'm not saying that there haven't been hardships already. I like just told you that I thought that I was having 2 fucking panic attacks last week. And that's just like picking out brand colors and making business cards and shit, you know? Like, things are gonna get a lot harder, and that's fine, because I can do hard things. But I am just, like, yeah, endlessly supported, and I can't wait. I have found some cool apps that have been like really helpful lately. I think that I am kind of going to switch how I have been approaching food a little bit this week. So I had planned on talking about that, but I think that I'm going to give myself a little bit to maybe like try out this new system and adjust before I touch on things a little bit more. I have been hesitant to talk about my goals, and maybe because I felt like they were so huge that I like didn't want to tell people and have people tell me that they weren't realistic. That's probably the most legit reason I could give you. But I don't know, I also like the business world is so weird in that everything's like a competition, you know? So I feel like that's how my mindset has been a lot, is that competition. But like, this isn't a competition. Specifically what I'm doing as a career in this lifetime isn't a fucking competition. If there are other people out there with the means to do these things, fucking do it. Fucking do it so well. Do it better than I could ever do it. I encourage you. Take all of my ideas. I will give you all of my ideas. Go fucking make it happen. So I think that I am like ready to kind of let people in a little bit and like loosen my control a little bit over all of these things. I think that I am so attached to these dreams that I am terrified at the idea of like letting anybody in and like help, because these are my dreams. And I don't want people fucking around, you know? Currently, I am in the beginning stages of kind of like I'm starting what is essentially just an umbrella company for me to function under, so that I can start finding a team and like making progress on a resource that I have had the idea for some time now. The idea is like a cross-platform app that is essentially just like a comprehensive list of mental health resources available in Saskatchewan. And I want to do it province specific because I feel like, as a Saskatchewan resident who has wanted to kill myself for a lot of this lifetime, I am appalled at the system here and at the access to resources and at the resources, honestly. And like, shit needs to change here specifically. And I'm sure that it needs to change other places as well. But like, this is my plan to start off with, is I want it to be Saskatchewan specific, and I want it to be Saskatchewan wide, and I want it to be like so fucking accessible that there is just ease in finding information and in accessing the resources and in like understanding the resources. I have a lot of ideas like feature wise. I think that it's going to take some time to develop, and I'm not expecting this to be like a quick project. I think that there's a lot of things that are going to go into it, but I am excited to like start kind of making actual moves on it and start like reaching out to the people that I like want to contact and like start making actual moves on my dreams. There will be the opportunity for like community input, and I will absolutely keep this platform specifically updated on when you can give me your input, because I want to hear it. I'm creating this platform because it's something that I have needed, but like I want it to be just endlessly fucking helpful. And if there are things that I miss, I want those to be included. So I will keep you guys updated, and I'll let you know how you can help out in that regard. If you are listening and you are a Saskatchewan resident and you are like passionate and driven and care about mental health and mental health resources and like specifically struggle with mental health, please fucking reach out to me. Let's chat. I would love to make space for you in this project, and I'd love to find a way for you to help. So if you want to be involved, let's fucking make that happen. And if you want to give me your input, let's also make that happen. I will definitely be sharing more in that regard on this platform. And yeah, I think that that's kind of where I'm at right now, is this platform is going to get like a rebrand a little bit. And I'm going to merge it with kind of just my own social media platforms, because I feel like that makes the most sense to me and will be the easiest way for me to like be consistent. And I am going to continue to do just like career girly shit and face my fears and maybe have panic attacks in my living room, but that's all a part of the process, I guess. And I'll keep you guys updated. I can't wait to share more stuff about all of the things that I'm doing career-wise, because I'm just creating like my own company, and I got to give myself just like a fucking title that I made up, and it's all just so crazy and surreal, but cool as fuck. I cannot put into words how incredibly fucking cool my life is right now. And I am so grateful that I get to share it on this platform and that like people listen and give a fuck. And I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Man, all of this is so cool. And I hope that you know that you're cool as fuck. And I hope that you're also following your fucking dreams. And I will talk to you again soon. But for now, I'm gonna go do, I don't know, career girl shit. Maybe taking care of myself girl shit. I don't know. We'll see. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.